And I've spent years experimenting with different ways of making money. I've lost money. I've wasted time. I've started things that went nowhere. And I've abandoned opportunities that could have worked if I'd simply stayed consistent. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today, because I don't want to sell you another get-rich-quick dream. I want to change the way you look at failure, the lie we've been sold. We're living in a strange time. Every day you open social media and see someone making money online. Someone is 18 and driving a supercar. Someone is making thousands from an online store. Someone claims they made their first million from YouTube. And then you look at your own life and think, what am I doing wrong? So you jump from one opportunity to another. You try something for a few weeks, maybe a month, sometimes even a couple of months. And when the results aren't immediate, you move on. Then you call it a failure. But there's a problem with that logic. You didn't fail, you stopped. My first experience with making money. When I was younger, I was obsessed with Pokemon cards. And I heard stories about rare cards selling for thousands of dollars. So naturally, I thought, what if I buy cards cheaply and sell them for more? That was my first real attempt at making money. I'd find cards at a lower price and try to resell them. Was it revolutionary? No. Was I becoming rich? Definitely not. But it was teaching me something. I was learning how markets worked. I was learning how to buy, how to sell, how to negotiate, how to recognize value. And most importantly, I was learning how to start. But then something happened. I got older. My interests changed. People around me started making fun of it. Suddenly, something I enjoyed became cringe. So I stopped. Not because the business was impossible. Not because the opportunity disappeared. I simply lost interest and quit. And that pattern followed me for years. Part 2. Then came dropshipping. A little later, I discovered dropshipping. At the time, everyone online was talking about it. Build a Shopify store, find a product, run advertisements, make sales. Sounds easy, right? So I decided to try. I spent days researching products. I found a supplier, built my store, created the entire system, and eventually, I was ready to launch. I genuinely believed, this is it. This was going to be the business that changed everything. The business that would make me financially free. The business that would let me take care of my family. So I invested money into advertising. And guess what happened? Nothing. No massive success. No overnight transformation. No Lamborghini. Instead, I lost around $500. And when you've worked hard for your money, losing $500 hurts. So I did what most people would do. I stopped. I told myself, dropshipping doesn't work. But looking back now, that wasn't the truth. My dropshipping store didn't fail because dropshipping was impossible. It failed because I quit. Here's the pattern. Think about your own life. Maybe you've said, I tried YouTube. I tried trading. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried freelancing. I tried dropshipping. I tried content creation. But here's something I've realized. The word tried can sometimes hide the real story. Because if you tried something for 3 weeks and stopped, did you really fail? Or did you simply stop collecting data? Think about it. You upload 10 videos. They get no views. You conclude, YouTube doesn't work. You start a business. You don't make money in the first month. You conclude, business doesn't work. You post content for 30 days. Nothing happens. You conclude, the algorithm hates me. But what if you were simply early? What if the results were closer than you thought? Success is boring. This is the part nobody wants to hear. Success usually isn't exciting. It's repetitive. It's doing the same boring things long after the initial motivation disappears. Posting another video, making another sales call, improving another product, studying another skill, learning from another mistake, doing it again, and again, and again, until something finally clicks. That's why consistency is so powerful. Not because consistency magically guarantees success, but because staying in the game gives you more opportunities to become good enough to succeed. Part 3. You don't need the perfect method. You might be waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect business model, the perfect niche, the perfect strategy, the perfect time. But there is no perfect method. There are only methods, and people who are willing to learn them deeply. You can make money through content. You can build a business. You can learn a valuable skill. You can get a job. You can freelance. There are countless legitimate paths, but jumping between 20 different paths every month makes it extremely difficult to become excellent at any one of them. You don't need another secret. You need commitment. And nitrogen monoxide, this doesn't mean never change. There's an important difference. Quitting isn't always bad. Sometimes something genuinely isn't working. Sometimes you need to change your strategy. Sometimes you need to leave a bad opportunity. But there's a difference between changing your strategy and abandoning your goal. If your goal is to become financially independent, maybe dropshipping isn't your path. Fine, try something else. But don't spend your entire life searching for a shortcut, because the shortcut you're looking for might simply be getting really good at something valuable. Your biggest competitor. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your biggest competitor might not be another entrepreneur. It might not be the algorithm. It might not be the economy. It might not even be your lack of money. It could be your own attention span. Because if you constantly start something new, you never give yourself enough time to compound. 1 month of effort doesn't look impressive. 1 year does. 3 years does. 5 years does. The people you see succeeding today often look like overnight successes, until you look at everything they did before anyone noticed them. Pick something, learn it, work on it, track what happens, make mistakes, improve, change your strategy when necessary, and most importantly, stay in the game. Don't measure your progress every single day, because some days you'll feel like you're going nowhere. Measure it over months, over years. That's where the difference becomes visible. Part 4. Final message. Maybe you're watching this video because you're broke. Maybe you've already failed at 5 different things. Maybe you're frustrated because everyone around you seems to be moving faster. But listen carefully. Your current situation is not your final destination. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You don't need to become successful overnight. You just need to stop expecting the first attempt to be the final result. Learn, adapt, keep moving. And when something doesn't work, don't immediately say, "I failed." Ask, "What did this teach me?" Because failure isn't always the moment you lose. Sometimes, failure is simply the moment you decide you're done. So don't be afraid to change the method. Don't be afraid to start again. But if you still believe in the goal, don't quit on yourself. Because the person who keeps learning, keeps adapting, and keeps moving forward eventually becomes very difficult to stop. If this video changed the way you think about success, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep going.